a company from 0 to 1,
Yeah.
or experiencing funding issues, or even like internal management, all of those. When they experience such tremendous stress, they
Yeah.
lack the outlet to find the right person to listen to them.
Mm.
They couldn't tell the investors that they're going to go through a very hard time and about to have a panic attack, because in that way, investors would then reevaluate to see whether or not this entrepreneur, this leader, is fit to lead the organization or to continue to kind of have the same growth as well. So for that part,
Yeah.
that would also have implications for the founder itself, whether or not where they can have the correct outlet. And that's where organizational psychologist kind of jumps in. It's a gateway where they feel safe for a person that who kind of had the same experience in the workplace environment who they could talk to while not infringing their entire organizational growth. And it's a little different from where we usually see or have the impression of normal psychologist, where you sit down in the office and then we do consultations and talk. A lot of the times when it comes to workplace psychologist and workplace psychology, the consultation process goes and we had to make it more aligned with a business strategy. Because for entrepreneurs and for the in the workplace, most of the stress comes from problem solving and issues that we experience during workplace. It could also be in relationship or with your colleagues as well, but most oftenly for, let's say, founders, for instance, it's about the issues, the business strategy, the market growth. Are they able to kind of pivot at the right time to kind of re-strategize? So that's where their stress come from. And that's where the psychologist kind of comes into with certain expertise, also knowledge in the market to kind of aid them through this process. So that's kind of like the background and some of the examples of organizational psychology.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting. It sounds to me sort of like internal affairs a little bit to do with the
Mm,
investigation and just making sure things are sort of like ironed out, and especially we're pertaining to the higher ups. And it's sort of, we've always heard the saying that nobody really cares about the little man kind of thing. But in this case, it's the big man himself that's sort of potentially going through something that, you know, it could, if you go amiss, if it goes amiss, that's serious. Repercussions, not maybe not for necessarily for the company, because perhaps they always figure ways to sort of replace, but for himself and his health to follow that, to put it's a problem. So it does break down a lot of things that perhaps we're not privy to pertaining to organizations and what's going on behind the scenes, unless you're part of it or unless you're of a certain stature within the company where you're privy to certain information of this magnitude. And I'm sure that's very selective as well. So it's uh, it's very interesting to hear it from your side, from your point of view. Um, how important is emotional intelligence to do with what you do?
absolutely, you're spot on. And how important it is, I would say, for the emotional intelligence, one part that I really see is the skills of communications, but also in empathy as well. I think specifically in organizations.
Yeah,
Um, where we see the outlet of it is also a personal experience that inspired was seeing founders who kind of go through the stress
yeah,
and then for them to find that outlet. It's oftentimes coming from burnout. And for burning out, that actually increases the risk for individuals to make riskier move or riskier decisions as well. And through that, to have someone who are able to speak not just what they want to speak, but speak towards what the other person wants to hear at the right time at the right environment, that could kind of unknot their stress and alleviate it. That is very important in various ways. For the emotional intelligence play that comes into it is for different